So here's a list of the books that have had the biggest impact on me, especially on the business end in 2024. You actually might decide to pick up on one of them. And one thing I found out is that every book has a story. So I'm just going to go through one by one with maybe a few highlights. And if you like this, share with a friend. So this is the list. Let's go. First book. The first book, this book was white, but look at changed, it's almost like creamish. So this is the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. So origin of the book, there's a here Naval Ravikant had a Twitter thread that he did that was called, I think they tagged it, "How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky," something like that. It goes in that direction. So this is a compilation of a couple of ideas that were gotten from that Twitter thread. It was like a whole thread with a lot. And then he did actually like a talk on it as well. So this was an extract of all the ideas from Naval, especially on that one. So there's a whole chapter about money. Then there's a couple of things they explore about happiness and philosophy, building wealth and building judgment. So those are some of the ideas in this book, but I liked the money part. It talks about leverage and a couple of things. Very intuitive. So Naval, he's an angel. He's a CEO of AngelList, but he's like a guy in venture capital. So those people buy companies and grow them. So Naval Ravikant, the Almanac, Naval Ravikant, amazing one. Book number two. Book number two is Key Person of Influence. Right now, everybody is trying to build personal brands, and online is becoming a platform, is becoming a whole thing. But he's been doing this kind of work for a while, and all of us are just catching up on it. So Key Person of Influence has a model on how to grow your influence, but it takes the following steps. You can see when a book is too good, this is a punishment it gets. You finish the money, write in the book, there's all these highlights. Anyway, so Key Person of Influence. The model that I did remember about the book, it was amazing, was the Key Person of Influence model itself. So I know it has this as the premise of it. First is to have a perfect pitch, meaning have clarity on what you want to be known about in the marketplace. The next one is publishing your ideas, meaning could be a YouTube channel, could be keynote speeches. Find a platform where people can actually listen to you. Then we have productizing your value, meaning you package what you know. Normally, the best way I've seen packaging of information is through frameworks or listicles. So a person has like a framework, and then it's their almost personal framework on how they deliver maybe a certain transformation for a person. So productizing your value. So if an extension of this, I think, is another book I'm looking at right now, one of Russell Brunson's books, and nobody talks about value creation ladder. Maybe I'll do a whole video about that, meaning sometimes you find productizing your value, you can start with a free version of what you do, then a person who leaves the free version can go into like a paid, a lower end paid, then can step up again to maybe your main pricing, the product that you're actually known for. And then for people who want extra service, you find that they pay for a service which is one of your premium value offers. So offer creation is where it normally goes. So that is one of the books. And raising your profile in this case means if someone decided to Google your name, what do they find? So optimizing for what a person finds when they decide to search about you is step 4. Step 5 is partnerships, meaning there's a person who has already built the audience with your perfect client avatar, the kind of person you're looking for to buy from you. And if you partner with them, you're able to access people who are in their audience. And if you do that with a couple of people, you get to build your own, but also it helps you to build authority, yourself as an authority in the industry. So Key Person of Influence, very nice. And I think I like about this book is he does all these things. So if I have looked through his catalog of books. So we have Keepers of Influence, there's Entrepreneurial Revolution. I have it, but I haven't read that one yet. Yes, Oversubscribed. Oversubscribed is how to get people to line up to do business with you, how to get all those kinds of people to line up to business with you. A couple of interesting philosophies. So we have Keepers and Keepers of Influence. I think there's one more that I'm forgetting, but I'll remember it. When I remember it, I'll come back to you guys. So we have, those are 2 books now. Third book. We have Compound Effect. I do read this one a couple of times in a year. It has a couple of ideas on compound effect. So most of the time we look at things in the natural way. We think that things work in a additive way. Like if I want to shed off weight, for example, I want to reduce 10 kilos, then I say I'll reduce 10 kilos in 10 months, meaning I lose 1 kilo a month. But guess what? Nature doesn't work that way. So the compound effect is one of those that explores both sides of the equation and what happens when you compound benefits. I'm looking for a small diagram that actually does a good job. I think I found it. It looks like this. You have choices, behavior, habits. Then you can see there's 3 guys, one in the middle, one up and one down. So it's one of those things where compounding is one of those things that happens both ways. It happens on a positive lane, as it happens also on a negative lane. It's like a compounded bad behavior, let's say like compounded bad eating behavior, gets you to being unhealthy on a good timeline. You just don't become fat in one day, or you don't get unhealthy in one day. It's normally a few bad decisions made consistently over time. So the same thing happens on the positive side. So it's like a duality of good and bad, and then where you end up, but all of them work in a similar nature on the negative effect with a positive effect. So this one is A Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And I remember getting this book when I was doing direct sales, and it was one of the, because I think Darren Hardy was one of those guys who built his empire in spaces of direct selling, and I think property and stuff. I don't know, but that's all I found. And he was a student of Jim Rohn, one of those prolific speakers you'll find online. Jim Rohn, very look for him as well. Very amazing speaker online. Those are 3 books we have so far. We have another one, Boss Moves. Boss Moves is written by Myron Golden. Myron Golden is my business coach. Boss is not about being your boss and bossing you around. It's business optimization success secrets from a $1 million roundtable. So the origin of this book, like I said, all books have a story to them. This book is a product of from a mastermind. So I think they had like one of those masterminds, or I think it's called Inner Circle for Russell Brunson. And one of the keynote speakers was Myron Golden. But then I think in the breakout rooms, you could choose who you want to listen to. So they decided to record the audio for this. And then the audio that was produced is what was the bedrock on which this was built. Like this, like everybody else, very simple to read, and you can see I've murdered the book with all these colors and stuff. It's very good, and goes a lot into how do you optimize your business for success, but also it goes into the offer creation a bit. And Myron Golden has the Make More Offers Challenge, and I'm an affiliate to it, and normally I take the time out to promote that book because I got so much value from the Make More Offers Challenge. The first book that I got from Myron Golden is From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. That's the first book that I got. Then I got this one as well. So I'm really into his books. And Myron Golden teaches business using Bible principles. So if the Bible is your jam, right teacher, right coach. And I can actually hook you up. I'm an affiliate. I already said that, okay? Those are 4 books. We got 2 more to go and maybe 1 bonus. Now, first one. $1 million offers. This one is a classic. I read this book. I think I've done the audio a couple of times, but anyway, foundation. If you're entering the marketplace, the first thing is to create an offer, something that people will be willing to buy. That's why it says $1 million offers. Subscript to it is how to make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. So the whole thing is, how do you create an offer? What can you add to an offer that makes one person say your offer is better than another when you're in the same industry? I'll give a small example. If both of us are maybe like business, no, let me look for, let's say like I'm a consultant and I do strategy. I help people do strategy plans. How do I stack up value with the same service against another person, where a person is willing to say, I'd rather take my bet with you than another person? So it's helping you differentiate yourself in the marketplace. But the foundation is their offer. And one of the biggest clues that I got from this book is something called the value equation. I think one day on one of these other videos, I'll actually dive into the value equation, because everybody keeps on saying, what value, bring more value, create more value. But then he took the time out and got something called the value equation. And the job of the value equation, since it has a numerator and a denominator area, one thing that I saw is that for a company to create so much value, if they work on the denominator, remember in fractions, the lower the denominator you make, the higher you can get as a result. Meaning, if you can strip out a business for the denomination of that value equation to almost zero, it's infinite value. Because anything that you divide by zero is infinite. So, biggest takeaway from Make More Fast, from the $100 million offers. I'm mistaken it with Make More Fast because I normally promote it. So we have 6th book by the same author. Now, this one is a bit thickish, but it's big, and still we have $1 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. Still, subscript for this one is How to Get Strangers to Want to Buy Your Stuff. So this is a book mainly. So offer creation is product creation. This is a marketing Bible, more or less. It's a marketing Bible. Leads. Because everything in business is downstream from lead generation. If you have no one coming to your business, then why are you doing the business? And in this one, I could see one of the biggest ideas that I did find was this, which is the how to build an audience to get engaged leads. And it has this core 4 as the breakdown, meaning you have warm outreach, people who know you; cold outreach for people who don't know you. People who know you can also get to post free content, and that's why you can see we're going through like a content rush right now. And then you can actually run ads to your offer as well. So these are the core 4 ways you can actually get traffic to people, for people to come and see your offer. Then you can have this core 4 as well, and then you can outsource that to maybe like a vendor, which is like, could be like an agency. They could do the same work. If you have your own staff, you can actually make your own staff do the same thing. Otherwise, the core 4 is the core 4. And this is one of the biggest ideas you'll find in this book. But I call these ones business Bibles. I like that they're written in this format. They're this book. I've lent out one, because these ones are mine. I'll give you this one out. But I lent out the offers book to a friend of mine. I only have this one for the leads. But guess what? On his podcast, the audiobooks for these are on. So you have no excuse not to learn. And his YouTube channel is amazing as well, just like the one of Myron Golden. Epic information. And now to the weird books. So that's a recap of the books. You can actually go through them. So the recap is, we have The Almanac, Naval Ravikant. We have Key Person of Influence. We have Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Then we have Boss Moves, Myron Golden. And then Alex Hormozi, the Leads book, and the Offers book. Amazing stuff. So these are the books that have come to my world that I think I may not have to dive into other books much this year when I still get this, because these are all books that actually come back to every now and then. Okay, now we're back to the weird book right now. So the weird book, I didn't think I would share this one with you guys, but I listened to the audio. So audio is weird. And the audio is a simulation of a conversation between a guy, a Miyamoto, we call ourselves Miyamoto, and the devil. The voice is weird, but it's a book written by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. It has a couple of interesting concepts. It's kind of almost like a philosophical book, but it simulates how the devil tricks us into going in his direction, something in that direction as well. And it was written by Napoleon Hill a long time ago, but it remained in one of his, I think the transcript remained somewhere because the world wasn't ready for that book for the time at which it was written. So I think after he passed on, and then as they tried to do, I think I've seen something called Napoleon Hill Foundation. So I think when they're trying to dig up on his old works, they found the transcript of the book. And since it was the right time and people wouldn't have made a lot of noise with the idea, the book came out, Outwitting the Devil. But if you're curious enough, you'll find a YouTube video that has a simulation of the audiobook, meaning there's a conversation. So they have a devil's voice, then there's a voice of a person asking the devil how he tricks people into getting on to doing things that are his will. And in case one of those things that tells you there's two sides of the equation, there's always the bad side and there's the good side. And you can't have bad without good. There's no way you say there's something good. If you say something is good, it means there's something bad as well. So it's one of those binary things that shows you the existence of both. A coin has both sides, and there's always a good side and a bad side to everything. Okay, and that's a summary of the books that I thought I would share with you guys that had a big impact in my last year, and I'm continuing with them because some of them are some that actually you can go back to every now and then. So if you like any of the books or if you read any of the books, just comment down below. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel and I'll be creating more videos like this as we go along. Happy New Year. Let's go. Adios.